Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it.
I guess I'll go ahead and start. Lee, you've got on your coaching staff, a guy like John who's been doing this forever, and then you have Paisley who's kind of early in her coaching career. What has worked with bringing this group together and it's allowed you guys to have so much success so far?
Staff-wise, you mean?
Yeah, staff-wise.
It's just well, I mean, there's ties to this place, right? John and Paisley and Kehlani. And actually, we got Kaylee Smiler's now back. She's going to join us as a GA. I guess that's not her last name anymore. What is it? Moo? I think. Kaylee Moo. There's like a love for this place that those that have been here before have. And then Jordan and Josh were here past years. I just like, their buy-in to the group. They've never made it about them, and always have been in it for the group. And so really only Andrew's the kind of, hey, what's he gonna be like, and it's just been a good group effort, that everybody's in it for each other. And we've kind of try to kind of profess that with the group, with the team and as a staff, and we have to be the ones to walk it, and I think they're doing a great job. They're kind of split up in packs to help with the scout. Each third scout, it rotates kind of thing, or as best as it could be. And then John's kind of been my right hand as far as preparation, and just things that he's seen. But overall, I mean, you got the buy-in from the staff, but just everybody loves this place, and wants to be part of something bigger than themselves.
And then tell us a little bit about what you've been able to determine from the scout for TCU, a ranked team coming up next.
I mean, they don't really have too many holes metrically speaking. And Coach Campbell does a great job of finding matchups he likes, but they have really tremendous players. And when they get that thing going, they're really hard to stop. And metrically speaking, they're a very good defensive team. And it's not like they haven't played teams like, they went on the road and beat a top 25 team in NC State, played a tough Richmond team in Cancun that, so they played some really good teams and they made it look pretty easy against Kansas State. So we got our work cut out for us. There's really, I mean, pick what you want as far as what you're trying to take away. I think they're the best. Just, when they start sharing that basketball, they're really good. And, it starts with number 5, Miles, and her ability to create and play make from that lead guard spot. But they've had pretty much anybody have a big night on their team. So really tremendous talented team.
What will be Delaney's status for this upcoming game? Will she be full force by then?
I believe, as far as I know, there shouldn't be a minutes restriction. We'll see how she, what's it called? How she feels after today's practice. She didn't go all of practice today. I anticipate she won't go all of practice tomorrow. And haven't heard the term limit restriction or minute restriction. So I'm hoping for her, and I'm planning for her, but haven't heard anything to make me think otherwise.
Then you mentioned just, how good this TCU team is. What do you think of playing that team at this part of the season? I mean, you guys are 12-1 right now. You're trying to get a little bit more national notoriety. What do you think playing a top 10 team at this part of the season will do for you guys as far as like recognition goes and for your team overall?
Yeah, for us, it's another data point on where we're at, as a team. Obviously, we want to be successful. And most importantly, we want to be successful at the things that we're emphasizing, whatever that is, whether it's rebounding or transition defense or ball screen defense or one-on-one guarding, as we enter those games. Hey, these are the things we're focused on. Let's take these components of their game away, whether it's offensively, defensively. And when they adjust, or we get them to adjust, then let's see where we're at, and kind of go from there. But coming into it, like, hey, we have a few distinct things that they're really good at, we feel, on top of they have really good individual players. And let's focus on those and see where we're at if we're able to execute those things, And so notoriety wise, like I think in our league, if you can finish in the top half of this league, you're going to have all the notoriety that you want. It's a great opportunity for us because I think they're a legit Final Four contender with their talent and skill set and size. And just, coming into it, believing that we can come in and get the job done.
Coach, could I pivot back to Delaney a little bit, but back to, I know it feels like a million years ago when she came off the bench there against UCF and just kind of did her thing. Just how good was it to have her back? And were there things out there that she was doing where you were like, okay, Delaney's back, like same old Delaney, or maybe even vice versa, where you're like, okay, we need to knock a little bit of rust off of her too, in addition to the rehab she's gone through?
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a little of that, right? Even if it's not with her, with everybody else, as she inserts herself into the lineup, right? So a little bit of continuity, that's going to take some time to iron out. But I mean, when you saw, I don't know if you saw that first shot come out of her hand. Come on, you got to love the way that ball spins coming out of her hand, right? So she's tremendous, but hopefully there's not too much rust, whether with her or with the team, coming together with her. But I love that aside from Ari right now, we have 12 people that can come in and contribute. If somebody's not doing what they're supposed to, you know what? The bench is a pretty good, solution to, hey, you don't want to play hard, even though that's not the case with our group. But just, hey, this isn't happening. We're now out of the non-conference. Game plan execution super important, effort super important, and there's very capable and willing players ready to go.
It does seem like, and correct me if I'm getting some of the details wrong, but it does seem like this group has done a really good job of kind of staying together. Even the players that were rehabbing, Delaney while she was rehabbing, still traveling with the team, still around the team, going to meals and all of that thing. It seems like Ari's kind of doing the same thing. Does that just help kind of build up that connection for when they come back, they're ready to jump back in, like you were
Yeah,
saying?
they're able to see some of the stuff that we're doing too, as we prep for different games. And that's, I don't know if there was ever any doubt that, like, hey, we're going to travel those people, and I'll just tell you guys, I mean, Kaylee Wilson's back from remission. She was at practice today. Now she didn't practice, but it's good to see another familiar face, that's eager to get out there. And obviously she's not going to go this year, but, I think you have buy-in from the group of, hey, I want to be here and start to learn and, get going kind of thing. So overall, good group that's connected and we want to stay that way. Obviously, we talked about it early in the fall, still haven't faced tremendous adversity as far as connectivity is concerned because we've been fortunate to win some games, but we'll see what that happens if we can continue to do that. The injuries have been some adversity, and that's been hard for some, but I think they're doing a good job of staying in it with each other.
This is probably more administrative, so it might be a question that's above both of our pay grades. So feel free to just kind of defer it.
I
But
don't
when
know if
Kaylee
Jay
comes
Hill's
back,
leaving or not, so.
no. Well, I got a question on that later, but I'll save it for a minute. But when Kaylee comes back in the middle of the season, like she has, and I know you've had a couple of whether it's missionaries or early enrollees or something that come in. What's their status like when they don't play? Do they need to use a red shirt on? Like, is she going to need to use a red shirt on that year?
I believe technically, yeah, this is a redshirt year for Woolston, and for her, she's got some stuff that medically she'll take care of in this semester and in the summer, and we typically with a return missionary, there's kind of a 6 to 8 week, 2 months, kind of a ramp up back to return to play, as far as live contact is concerned. So it's a ways away. And yeah.
Okay, and then I did promise. I feel like we've gone long enough without asking the capital J journalism questions here, the real deep dive hits. So I did wanted to get your thoughts on the real reason for the season, the national holiday that we all just recently represented. Do you have a favorite flavor of Pop-Tart?
I pretty much like them all. I'm trying to stay away from them. But yeah, I'm with Kalani. I'll try them all. I eat them all. I pretty much like them all, and I love when he stuffed, the whole thing in his mouth after the game. That was awesome.
I'm not sure I've ever seen anybody inhale a Pop-Tart
That
so quickly. I was very impressed. So
was
was
big time. That was big time.
yeah, Joey Chestnut was the
Yeah.
Jaws himself was
I
impressed.
actually saw that. He tweeted out about it,
Yeah.
or responded.
That's great. Thanks, Coach.
Darnell, Sam, do you guys have anything else for Coach?
No, it should be all good.
Okay, awesome.
I got one.
Go ahead, Darnell.
Yeah. So Lee, you've talked in the past about a couple of things that you wanted to improve. One was shooting, and the other was, I think, turnovers or things that have been an issue you're trying to clean up. What things has this team done that's allowed you to overcome maybe some of those deficiencies, places where you haven't been as good as you wanted to be?
Yeah, I think the offensive rebound probably is there. The turnovers that we're creating is probably probably the biggest reason. I don't know what our number is right now, but I think we're a top 50 team as far as turning teams over. And really the Vanderbilt game is the only game that we really didn't have any success turning over, and honestly we didn't pressure the way that we normally should. So I think that's allowed us to overcome those deficiencies. We had a pretty, not a heart-to-heart, but a pretty transparent film session after the UCF game when we came back of just shot selection. I think it's been better since the film session, as well as just trying to do too much, early in the possession, where and some of them aren't live ball turnovers. We've been fortunate, at least against UCF. But even still, our travels and our offensive fouls, we're trying to do too much, especially early in the possession. And the difference between a bad shot, with 16 on the clock and with two different things. Same thing with that aggressiveness, whether it's a travel or a charge, that's I think it's something that we've just talked about, because it's, and then going into it, we've been down numbers wise. We've had a few games where we've been out with 3 or 4 people. And so there hasn't been really the bench to, hey, you make a mistake game plan wise, that might be a shorter leash, things that we can control, shot selection or game plan execution. What do we got for that's 15
people?
Yeah, our defense is good, but we got a long way to go. Metrically, we're better there, but those are the things that kind of stick out.
Yeah, just one last one. Miriam got into the game against UCF. Do you plan on using her more as the season progresses, or was that just an opportunity to kind of see where she was at?
Yeah, she's had some couple of good days of practice. Like, she does things that's just like, okay, so yeah, I intend to everybody that's dressed is fair game. We've had a little bit of a cold or sickness for a couple of girls last weekend, but they didn't seem too rusty today, and so kind of a feel thing as we get into games, and kind of how the preparations happen. With MT, she looks good moving. I think getting her up to speed just schematically or play wise be the biggest thing. But yeah, she's done some good things the last couple of days.
Let's get it.
All right, ladies, I gotta start out with some hard-hitting journalism, some capital J journalism, because it is the reason for the season. I did get coach's opinion on it. We all just barely got back from this break, celebrating a big national holiday. It was everywhere, from Provo up to Salt Lake to the other side of the country, everywhere. Do you guys have a favorite flavor of Pop-Tart?
Oh, I like the cinnamon ones, probably. I don't know, or strawberry.
I don't know if I do. Can't
Wait,
say I'm a
what
huge
what's the difference?
Pop-Tart connoisseur.
All I can think
Probably
of is
like the maple one. Is that one? Like the maple, I don't know. Brown sugar, probably that
Straw
one.
strawberry and cinnamon are very popular. Cherry's been making a nice run, I know lately.
the
No, you're not
Oreo,
cherry.
Oreo one that's pretty good.
There's a s'mores one that's really good. Yeah, like okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Strawberry's my favorite. I decided it's a strawberry one.
I like it. I like it. Frosted strawberry is by far the winner of this. I've been conducting a very scientific poll around BYU campus, and frosted strawberry is the runaway winner so far, just for what it's worth. Uh, how good was it? I know it feels like a million years ago, but how good was it to be able to see Delaney get back on the court and do a little bit of old Delaney things against UCF and hopefully, knock on wood, some I guess, kind of have her a little bit moving forward.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously Delaney's super talented, a great teammate, brings a lot of good energy and helps us offensively and defensively a ton. And I think it'll just be really good for us to have more depth and more bodies. And yeah, we're excited to have her back, obviously. And yeah, we're just excited to see what we can do.
Yeah. I think just like, sorry, I think just like the playmaking ability that she brings to the team too. She just has a way of getting in there and seeing the floor. And I think that just is a huge part of our team that is great to have back as well.
And adding another primary ball handler, point guard, yes, to take some of that pressure off Sid and Liv. So
Hattie, you took my follow-up question right away perfectly. So I look forward to your future in media when you're done playing basketball. You'll probably take my job sooner rather than later. So congrats. I'll pivot then to just as you guys jump back into Big 12 play, just what's been sort of the I mean, I guess you got one game under your belt. Now you've got the home opener this Wednesday. My days are all mixed up. I think it's Wednesday. Just what's sort of the change in mentality or like pivot in mindset, that kind of thing, as you move into the Big 12 portion of the schedule?
Yeah, I think a big part is just keep being who we are, being us, stick to the details and the game plan. I mean, not that there's like a huge shift, I feel like, but just like keep working, do what we're doing. But now it's serious Big 12.
yeah, I'll add to that. I just think that it honestly feels kind of like a new season. Like we had Christmas break, kind of a fresh start, and it's just exciting for us to see like kind of this is what we've been working for this whole season and into the summer is these big games against TCU, against Arizona State in the Big 12. And I think we'll go out and shock some people and kind of play with these big teams and compete. And so we're just excited to see kind of all that translate to this game.
Yeah, new season, new semester, new life, all of that good stuff, right? Kind of the spirit of winter. I like it. Guys, you got anything?
Yeah. What would you guys say playing a top 10 team at this point in the season? I mean, you guys are 12-1 right now. What would you say playing TCU right now would do as far as like national eyes onto your program?
You want, I mean, obviously they're ranked super high. They're a really talented team. They've like competed, but I just think like I mean I feel like we try not to focus on all the ranking and all the obviously we just want to play every game and compete and just let the cards lay where they lay. And I think we can compete with all these top teams and I mean we've played good teams. We played Vanderbilt, Virginia Tech, and those high level teams. And so, yeah, I mean, I just think the rankings change so much throughout the season, and there's really not a ton to it. It's more just showing up every game, competing, and we know they're a really talented team, but I think we are as well. So,
I think too, we're just very excited. Like, we're all competitive players. That's why we're here, and just to be able to go out there and compete and just, I mean, coach says it all the time, but it's just about like the inputs that we put in is what is going to determine the outcome. It's just focusing on that.
All right, ladies, tell me about this coaching staff. There was continuity because Lee took the job, the head coaching job, but there were some changes and some people taking different roles. And you've got really experienced coaches like John Wardenberg, and then got Paisley, who played just a few years ago. What has been the key to making all that work for a great start for your team this year?
Right.
Yeah, I think every player and coach has kind of bought into Coach Lee's system and his vision and kind of his hopes for the season. And I think every coach has contributed a different dynamic and role in this program that's kind of brought everyone together. Yeah, so I would just say everyone enjoying spending time with each other and contributing in their own way.
We also just have such like a fun coaching staff. Like, all the personalities are big and energetic, and it's just like you feel a sense of excitement from every one of them to come to practice every day, and like that just like fuels you. For sure.
Let's get it.